going on, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. Today, my guest is comedian, dancer, artist, and mother, Lara Bazant.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm super excited to be here.
Oh, glad to have you. Coming all the way from East York.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned that before we started recording. Like, I was born in East York, yo.
Oh.
I was born in East York, and I went to Cosburn Middle School and Diefenbaker, and Diefenbaker just for like half of grade 5. But like a lot of my life was out of East York.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'm raising my son there.
Okay.
I'm not from there originally.
All right.
Yeah, I moved there like after I got married.
Where you at?
I'm at like St. Clair and O'Connor area. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I'm a fan, sir. I'm a fan of yours. I gotta say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of yours as well.
I love doing Lafiteria. Like, it's such an awesome show. It's got such a good vibe.
Yeah.
I actually tell other comedians about your show. I'm like, there was such a good audience the night that I did that show. I was trying to figure out what it was, like why it was so just warm and awesome, and I'm like, it's the wrestling fans, man, for sure. It was almost like they were so warm, we could have done anything. You know, there's one guy who was just like making faces at one point, and everyone just like, roaring, you know. I'm just like, wow, this crowd is the best.
Yeah, it's usually a fun room, and it's like a smaller room, and I feel like when you can pack like a smaller room like that, like it's very different. I've talked about this like many times in my life, but like doing have you done Comedy Bar Danforth?
Yes.
So say you had like 40 people in Comedy Bar, like the main room. That's like 150. That's like a decent sized crowd, but like in that room, it feels like it's like disappointing. Like I don't want to say I hate it. I really love the venue. I think it's beautiful.
It's hard to sell out.
But it's such a big room.
Yeah.
And like even when you can get like 50 people, 60 people out, it still doesn't feel like that much. And I'm like still disappointed for some reason. It's like, I go in the green room. People are like, no man, it's all right. It's good. But Lafiteria is it's a good spot. I feel like if I did a bigger room for that show, it would be a little hard too, because like the way that, I get people to vote and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
It's perfect. It was, sold out. It's such a nice, tight crowd in there. That's one of my favorite spots to do comedy, for sure.
You were on the last one that got canceled, or rescheduled.
Rescheduled, because of the snow.
Yeah, I'm glad, actually, everybody can actually still do the show.
That was the third show this month that I got rescheduled for snow. Yeah, there's so many. It's happening to everyone now. It's like, just a lot of weather cancellations. But we're supposed to be used to it now because of the pandemic, right? We're supposed to be used to shit just whatever happening out of our control.
Yeah, but we're not. We'll never be. I feel like winter, it's just like I get it's March, but also I feel like Canadians should be used to snow by now. And it seems like every snowfall it's the same kind of reaction.
Yeah.
Do you drive?
No. I'm a non-driver. Like a non-smoker, but a non-driver.
Then you don't want to drive, eh?
No, actually, I have a bit of a fear of driving, and I kind of have like this premonition that I'm gonna die in a car accident. So
no fucking way, like Final Destination.
Yeah. So I think it's safer for the rest of the world without me behind the wheel.
Okay.
So I think I'm just doing everyone a favor by.
Definitely makes me nervous. I don't drive yet, but I'm gonna be driving. Like I'll have a vehicle by the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
Like for sure.
Do you have your license?
I have my G1 right now. It's like the second time I got it. But this time I'm actually... See, the first time when I got it, I didn't really have the means to get a vehicle. I was just like, I gotta get my G1. Everyone's getting their G1. And then...
So you learned how to drive here?
Yeah, I guess so. And like it was cool because like my family, like I was born in like Toronto, and most of my family was in Toronto, but then like I don't know how it is, with your family, but my family's very divided, right? And there's like good family, like legit good family, and like legit just like dirtbag family. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like all my good family was like, we're going to fucking BC.
I have family in BC too, yeah.
And I feel like I had a story coming.
Oh shit, I cut you off!
No, you didn't cut me off. I just lost my train of thought. Fuck, what were you talking about just before this? We'll get there. Let's do this.
I don't know, wait, let's stop for a second. We're gonna just segue into something else because I want to give you the card that I brought for you.
Oh my god.
Okay, I made Paul
I was looking at it. I didn't put it together. She bought a bunch of stickers and stuff.
Yeah, I do. I love doing really childish kind of art. So, in case y'all are listening to this instead of watching, this card envelope has a blue butterfly on it because Paul is blue butterfly as fuck, okay?
Okay.
And it's like,
right.
Yeah, it's just like a little thank you
I dig
card.
it. Should I read it out loud right now?
You don't have to read it out. No, maybe don't read it out. It's very, like, cheesy.
Okay,
yeah, but it's just about how amazing you are doing your shows. And thank you
so
for
sweet.
being
Thank
encouraging.
You so much.
Yeah, because you
no problem.
you're giving people a chance to be up there and, do their thing, and it's really awesome. It felt like a good camaraderie, too, with Lafiteria when I went there. Like, I met some other cool people whose shows I'm doing as well. I find that with all the shows, like the networking is really cool. Oh, and one more thing I also brought, I tend to jump from one thing to the next. These puffy heart stickers, I actually brought them for your partner who is carrying your child. Yes. So this is a gift.
That is so sweet.
For her because she just deserves like love and happiness and putting stickers on things.
Oh yeah. This will be perfect. Perfect way to girly some things up.
Yeah. I just thought she might want a nice little something.
Thank you so much.
What stage is she at now?
Like 7 weeks out from like the due date. Like it's so close. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I mean, I feel like I'm ready. Like how old are you?
Guess. Oh, I want you to guess.
Oh my god.
There's no wrong answer.
I want to say you're around I really feel like you're around my age. 33.
Thank you so much. I'm 46.
What the fuck? No way, yo. Okay, I'm 37.
I am 46 years old!
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is like mad surprise. You probably get that shit a lot.
Yeah, no, like a few years ago, I was, I definitely looked my age, and I was about like 100 pounds heavier probably, and I had like a straight up office job. I was working in advertising, and, yeah, I had like this huge midlife, I don't want to call it midlife crisis. I kind of like calling it my midlife millennial phase because I just kind of like took an Etch-a-Sketch to my life and was like, do over. Like, I feel like millennials can they have that concept down, where it's like, oh, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Doing something new now, right? So yeah, I was like really unhappy in like my marriage, my job and everything. And, the first step I took to like get out of that whole thing was to take a comedy class. So
where'd you go?
Second City.
Nice. I went there as well.
Yeah. And I remember before I got into the class, I was in like a state of my life where I was like really hiding in just all ways. Like in every kind of way I was hiding. And after, I remember even being like terrified to even go into the class. And I remember finishing the class and being like, I can leave my marriage. I can end this job I hate. I can lose a bunch of weight. I can straight up do anything. Like I just had this feeling all of a sudden that now I've gone to the class, I'm ready to break the cycle of all this bad shit. And it just started this trajectory. And it was a positive trajectory, but a lot of really hard stuff happened along the way. Like, obviously, the marriage ending was really hard, and it was really not amicable at first, and we fought a lot, and, like, had no contact orders and got each other arrested. It was really horrible. The whole time, I was studying comedy and trying to make jokes about it. And, so those two things were, like, happening simultaneously. And then... shortly after that, my marriage ended, I became a single mom, and my workplace started, like, discriminating against my single mom schedule. I ended up getting, like, pushed out of my corporate job.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, like, a whole thing. And, so I became quite distressed, and instead of like breaking down, I decided to make it into this really happy thing. I started renovating my condo, and while I was renovating my condo, I was painting every room. It took me 7 months, and I started dropping a whole bunch of weight, like really, really quickly. And as I was dropping the weight, I was listening to music, and I'd be painting, and then I'd start like dancing, like I couldn't stop dancing. And I got into this whole thing where I was constantly feeling rhythm, to the point where like it was like something was like waking up inside of me. And it started waking up so much that I'm like, I straight up need to take hip hop classes. Like I have to do this. I don't know where it came from. I used to be into ballet and stuff when I was younger, but it's just this whole new person.
It probably still helps with like hip hop a little bit, I imagine.
Any kind of dance background, I guess, right? So yeah. Anyway, I just after the divorce and studying comedy and the job ending and losing a whole bunch of weight, I started getting into hip hop dancing, and like the next thing I knew, I was like rapping and doing hip hop, and like I was completely different than who I had been. And
in a good way.
In a good way. Yeah. It was really, really, really good. But unfortunately, then the pandemic hit, and I just, right when I had like my stand-up just sort of ready to go, lockdown happened, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm not doing stand-up. So I stopped doing comedy pretty much for the whole pandemic, except for videos. I started making a YouTube channel then.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's when I started writing more comedy songs. But I didn't start really doing the rapping until I started getting back up on stage again. There's like a whole rap for that as well. There's a whole story around like how I started doing the rapping, and that's like around I'm like going like way off on.
No, it's good. Do it. This is great stuff.
I just really so much want to like get to the whole. It's just really cool how this whole rapping thing happened, because before I had this idea that I wanted to do a one-woman show. Okay, I always had an idea that I wanted to do it, but I didn't really have the theme or the material, right? But then this sort of awakening that I had during the pandemic, which eventually led to me becoming like breaking down and getting involved in this other weird relationship, that started becoming the theme for the one-woman show. So all the things that happened during the pandemic and all the breakdown that stuff happened after the good stuff became what I rapped about. So, and then once I started doing musical comedy, things started really, really taking off for comedy. I felt so much more comfortable doing musical comedy.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. It's like, it's so much easier. I have like lots of stuff that I've written that I haven't workshopped yet in terms of like non-musical, like actual just talking, riff stuff, crowd work.
Yeah.
But I don't do any of that yet because I'm still like, I don't want to say too nervous, but just I memorize the songs, and then it just feels so good doing them. Like it just feels so right when I put the beat on, and I see people's faces in the audience, like just obviously getting excited. I'm just like, yes, I got them. I got them. It's just the best feeling. So, yeah.
It's amazing.
All right.
And you're good at it.
Thank you.
And you wrote one
okay,
about me?
I wrote a little rap for Paul. Okay, all right.
I'm super excited.
Okay, we're gonna do it. I just want to like get in character a little bit.
Should I put those ones on? Are those ones for me?
These ones are for you.
Oh shit, they got sparkles on? Are there sparkles?
I don't know.
Alright, whatever.
Okay, so hopefully I won't do the notes, but okay. I'm gonna do it twice. This is the first time I'm making a rap for someone else, so let's see how it goes. Okay. You think that's loud enough? Alright, let's see. Alright. This is Paul. He never drops the ball. He's as cute as a doll. Never means no harm at all. He wears a plaid shirt. He dishes up the dirt on his podcast Pillow Talk, whether you like it or not. Paul. paused in the middle there, but I got it. I saved it.
You know what? Reception is super bad if you're using you probably are using your Wi-Fi or your data.
I am using my data.
So it's it's legit horrible. That was amazing. That's totally gonna be the clip for the episode.
So now I'm thinking I want to start writing songs and raps about all kinds of people. Maybe I might start a little Lara's comedian rap roast or some shit like that.
Yeah. That'd be good. That'd be an original idea, at least, some sort of musical flair.
Yeah.
I would dig that.
Yeah, I also had an idea for a little while to when I was doing the dancing, I wanted to do a dance with me thing where I featured other people who do dancing for mental health and stuff on my channel, but I got too many other things going on to actually get that idea started. I have I'm sorry, but I have the biggest bipolar mind. It gets intensely overwhelmed with so many ideas at once, and that's why I have this notebook with this insane amount of doodling and markers and everything in it, because it's I will get to all these things.
You will, guys.
Yeah.
I believe you.
I only actually just recently got diagnosed as bipolar in August, and I'm not actually fully accepting of this diagnosis. I think it's mostly PTSD, but I'm not fully accepting the diagnosis because most people get diagnosed as bipolar way younger. I'm I'm almost 50. Does that mean all of these things were just me being bipolar? All of the things, the jewelry business I had, that was just me bipolaring out, all my different jobs, all the different stuff that I did, I'm oh man, I just started questioning all of the things. Some people, when they are diagnosed, they're oh my God, that's amazing. Oh, that makes total sense. Guess what, family and friends? I'm not a fuck up. I'm bipolar. It totally makes sense. Right? And for me, I'm just no, I think I'm just creative. I think I'm just really creative.
So you had a craft business?
I did.
Okay, so tell me about this.
I had a sterling silver jewelry business.
Right.
I was totally part of, I'm an OG DIY bitch, man. I was part of the Toronto DIY craft movement in the early 2000s.
All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been a jewelry designer, a graphic designer, now I'm a stand-up comedian. The next logical step is probably life coach, right?
Doing speeches at schools.
Yeah.
Honestly though, some of those, I know a wrestler who does that kind of stuff, so there's nothing wrong with doing that
motivational
kind of stuff.
Speaking? Yeah, for sure, yeah.
You'd be good at it.
Yeah. I have a good friend named Stuart Knight who's a motivational speaker. He does really well. I like his videos and stuff. He just gets on there every once in a while and just his thing is called Boycott What You Thought, and he'll just, I don't know, sometimes it seems like he's just trying to trigger people, right? He's here's the thing about jealousy. If you're jealous of someone, it's just because they worked harder than you.
Okay, alright, I got you.
So you just have to work that hard to be like them.
What's his name?
Stuart Knight.
Stuart Knight.
Yeah. He used to do his own one-man shows as well. So.
All right.
Yeah.
He's one of your inspirations, I guess.
I guess
the one-woman show.
Yeah. He's one of my inspirations for the show, for sure. Yeah.
Who would you say your influences are?
Oh, Adam Sandler, 100% Fresh.
Yeah. All right.
The 100% Fresh show.
It's really good.
I watched
the
that.
Chris Farley song.
Oh.
I love Chris Farley.
Oh, that got me so hard.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like a lot of the stuff Adam Sandler did for at least a decade.
Movie-wise.
Maybe more, yeah. And I didn't like any of his movies. I just maybe his early stuff, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, that kind of stuff. But then
100%.
for a long time, he did shit that's Then he comes out with this 100% Fresh, and I'm oh, that's what I want to do. That was right in the middle of when I was at Second City. And between level 1 and 2, I think, was when I watched it. Was watching it over Christmas.
Did you do all 3?
No, I didn't do the third one. People who were... there was a person in my level 2 class who had done level 3 and did level 2 again. Because they said they actually learned more in level 2. I guess they had like a lot of money to burn. I don't know.
Apparently. They're not cheap.
Not cheap. No. Probably even more expensive now. Like I took the class in 2018. It's probably a lot more now. I know like dance classes are a lot more now and stuff. So.
You're still doing the dance classes?
Yeah, but I found a place that's like cheaper. I found like a teacher that I really like, and he's kind of like my guru, and I follow him around. Sometimes I'll take like one-on-one training with certain people. And now I'm actually starting to teach in April. I'm actually going to become a dance teacher. I'm going to start teaching hip hop to kids.
It's amazing.
Oh my God, after only like, I don't know, 4 years and a nervous breakdown. That's all it took. That's all it took. 4 years, leaving my job, becoming a single mom, having a nervous breakdown. That's all it took for me to become a hip hop teacher. That's it.
But it seems like things are good, you know? I always find it like crazy how many people like found comedy in like, I found it in a similar way as well. And just like some bad shit happening, and I was like, I need to do some shit for me, you know? There's like, I feel like that's 90% of comedians. Not necessarily a breakup, but some sort of bad situation.
Crisis.
Exactly, you know? And they're just...
Well, my ex, when we were fighting, one day we were fighting, we were in a huge fight, and I was like, like making fun of him like that, and he's like, he started busting out laughing, and he's like, I'm sorry, but you're so funny when you're angry. You're so funny when you're angry.
Yeah, it's funny now, but I feel like you weren't laughing at the time.
But then what we actually realized is that we kind of got together based on our humor, really. Like he's actually really funny, and he wrote this like funny graphic novel with his friend. And now we actually get along really well. And I bounce jokes off him all the time.
He's your son's
my son's dad. Yeah.
That's good though.
Yeah, it's super great. Like a pandemic just forced us basically to get along and co-parent well, and yeah. And our son's a little fucking genius. Like,
how old is he?
He's 10.
10.
I have a 10-year-old.
Shoot.
Yeah. He gets excited about the, video game updates and stuff. He's like, Mom, this weekend is the huge Fortnite update. Like it's a big deal.
You're like me. You said 47?
46.
46, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're like me in like, I feel like the distance. So yeah, like I'm 37. I feel like I'm kind of a little ready to be a parent, just because my last relationship, which is like when that shit fell apart, is the reason I found comedy. Like probably close to like 4 or 5 years ago, somewhere around there. And she had a daughter, and so I was living like, to be honest, I was probably like on and off with her for a very long time, and then there was like this one time that we were like, all right, yo, if we're doing this, we're gonna do it for real, super serial. And I moved from Brampton, and she moved from Kitchener, and we like moved to Mississauga jointly and moved in together, and like, but I knew her daughter from like 2, 3, that's like when I was spending time with her, and she was like a little older now, and like she was just about to go into high school like when we broke up, so she was like that age, you know what I mean? So I have like a little of experience kind of in that world, enough where I feel like I'm not going into completely blind, but also like,
cool.
Like just taking I don't know the newborn stuff, like all that like super young baby stuff is gonna be like, I change diapers, obviously. I have friends that have kids, obviously done, shit.
You changed diapers already? You're fine.
Oh man, like that's not the stuff like I'm worried.
You're probably worried about the sleep deprivation.
Like, what do we do in between that shit?
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
The weirdest, they do the weirdest shit as newborns too. Like, it's like, what is this creature? Like, they make like these weird like dinosaur noises. Like we called him a baby dinosaur, remember? Because like he'd just be like like making the, and they do like these face glitches because they don't smile until they're like 4 or 5 weeks old. And the first smile, you're like, like it's just the most mind-blowing thing because you're working so hard to keep this thing alive and you just want some kind of reciprocation, like any sign at all, other than not being dead, like just anything. And then the first smile pops on their face and it's like, oh, this child actually loves me. I'm doing something.
And you want to tell everybody, but there's only like a handful of people that really care about those sort of things, I feel like.
Yeah.
Even now, like when I'm like talking about trying to show someone like an ultrasound or some shit, it's like most people don't care. And I get it. You know, I was one of those people at one point, I'm like, you know, I'm not hating, but it's nice. Now I kind of get why, like, you know, parents join like mom groups and like, you know, have like other parent friends and shit. Because it's like, it's such a, I don't want to say unique experience because it's probably like most of the world I feel like that has. Like, what do you think? I wonder what the percentage of people that have kids.
I actually think
it's not enough because I still feel weird when people are like, I don't want kids. Teach their own, but it's like, oh, I feel weird. Like never though. You know, like.
Yeah, I guess that's like where their mindset is at the time. I remember being like, I don't know, like 28-ish and being like, I'm never getting married or having kids. Like that's actually what I thought. And yeah, we didn't actually plan to have a kid when we got married. It was expected of us, but we weren't like, okay, we're going to do this. It happened after we were married for a couple of years, I guess. And yeah, and I was actually terrified. Like, I didn't think I could do it. I was worried that I wasn't going to be a good mom. Childhood was like, okay, childhood is painful. We all have our stories, right? But I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to be. And also, you know, you see this person growing up and it does remind you of your own shit sometimes, right? So, it's like beautiful and crazy and weird. But so I remember somebody telling me, they're like, okay, when you first hold your baby, it will be the most pure sense of love. It will be the most beautiful, purest thing you've ever felt in your life. And straight up, when that kid was born, okay, that he was full on purple, really purple, like so dark. When they put him on me, I'm like, I thought I had.
Is this right?
I thought I had like a black baby. Like I'm like, what this is the baby?
He's yours, I swear.
And not only that, I was so scared shitless. I'm like, what are they talking about? This feeling of pure love. I'm like, no. What is it? Like, it takes time. It takes, love grows. Like, and you know, this same woman was like, oh, you'll never be able to imagine your life without him. And the first year, I'm like, oh, I can definitely imagine my life without him. Like, he's with me all the time. This is
all you talk about with your dude? Like, yo, can you imagine, like, just imagine what we would do if you didn't fucking come in, you son of a bitch. Like.
But now it's true. Like, it's so cool. He's a complete stabilizing force in my life. Like, he gets up in the morning and I look at him and I'm just like, yeah, I get to make breakfast for him, and like, we get to have this morning together. It's so awesome.
So you said he's 10. What has been, and I feel like now is a good age, but is there like an age that you miss? Like when you look back?
No, not really. No, oh, and here's another little tidbit. Okay. When the kid is like really small and you're not sleeping and people ask you, are you enjoying every minute? Yeah. You can straight up tell them to fuck right off.
I believe I will.
People who say
it's coming.
People who say enjoy every minute are people who feel so guilty about their own parenting. Like there is absolutely no way you can enjoy every minute of trying to keep this new life intact. Like it's just, you know, it is very enjoyable once you get the hang of it, right?
Yeah, but I'm scared just to like as soon as we leave the hospital and get home and close that door. It's gonna get super real.
Oh, even
you know?
in the car. You
think
see
so?
this? Oh my god, you have the baby in the car seat, in the back seat, and like you're afraid of like every bump the car is going over. You think, the baby's gonna get bumped. Yeah. Oh, I'm saying like way too much. How do you feel about it? Like, I hope I'm not scaring you.
No, you're not. Don't worry. I've had this conversation with like a lot of people. It's like the same similar stuff, you know.
Yeah, but like, how do you feel about being a dad? Like,
okay, so, I mean, I'm excited as much as I am terrified. When me and my girlfriend met, like we've only been together going on 4 years. And she didn't want kids at the beginning. Oh, yeah. And I was just getting like, man, I didn't, when I broke up with my ex, like we were engaged. Like it was super serious, man. And I just like didn't look at a woman for like a year and a half or anything, you know? And so I don't know. Like when we first met, I didn't really want kids. And, but like, I don't know. I think she's going to be a great mom. And
I love that you said that. That's so sweet.
Yeah,
I
think she has doubts, but like I don't have any doubts, you know. Or else like it wasn't an accident, baby. Like we told, like, you know, like we know the date. Like it wasn't like I was just coming in her willy nilly and we were just like, hopefully you don't get pregnant. You know what I mean? Like.
And it's gonna be a girl, right?
It is gonna be a girl. Yeah.
I wanted a girl. I totally wanted a girl. When we found out we were having a boy, I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, I don't know how I'm gonna raise a boy. I'm a woman. What do I know about boys? But I'm so glad we had a boy.
I definitely wanted a boy. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not any less excited, but there was like a hair of me. Like if I was to say it wouldn't be 50-50, that would be a lie. It's like, it's just a hair more I wanted a boy, because I just wanted a mini me. But all like my dudes that have like little girls, like daddy's little girl, man. Like that's the thing, you know? And mama's boy, like that's the thing. And so it's like, I don't know. And it's going to be nice to kind of like, you probably, you know, you're not with your baby daddy, I guess, let's say.
We were together for all the young years. We split up when he was 6.
So you probably had like some situations where maybe, I don't know, your history, or where you've had more serious relationships since, or someone that's in the picture, and it's like they're playing that like role, and it's like, I feel like personally that being a stepdad it seems harder than being an actual dad. Yeah. I'm ready to be a real dad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the kid is fully invested in you as their parent, for sure. Interesting. Yeah. Toronto's actually a great city to raise kids. We lucked out in a lot of different ways. Like, you know, we had like, there's like tons of different splash pads. It's such a fun thing to do.
Well, you live by Dieppe.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's a good one. That's a great splash pad.
I love that place. I used to go there all the time.
In the summer, I'd be scoping out like where are we gonna hit all the best splash pads.
They used to have one of those like a wading pool. It's like I feel like they phased those. Do they still have it?
Oh, there's actually a wading pool near my place at Topham Park.
Okay.
Like an old school wading pool.
They're still around. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I see more splash pads now. And
they've rebuilt a lot of the playgrounds in Toronto. They rebuilt a lot of the playgrounds and splash pads for that to have like that spongy floor, so that, you know, it's safer.
Yeah, no one can drown, I guess.
Yeah. There's a few old school playgrounds left in Toronto with like metal slides, but not that many. Not that many.
Metal slides. There's so many.
Super hot going down.
I saw. Well, actually, I feel like it's almost the same slide every time, but just when you see kids go down those slides and they're just dunk from side to side, like I feel so bad. It's like we just thought that shit was normal. Like we didn't have any. I always had preferred those big yellow slides, though. I'm gonna be honest. You know?
The twisty slide?
Yeah.
Sometimes, and then you gotta like try to climb up it after.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Someone will throw some sand, try to make it slip.
Sand. Ugh.
Shoot. I feel like you don't even have sand around a lot anymore. It's like wood chips or...
Not
like
a lot.
crazy.
It is a lot of wood chips. Yeah. And you bring those, you'll bring a lot of those wood chips home. You'll be getting those wood chips home with you. Things will come home. Yeah. Yeah, I remember one fall when we both had decent jobs. We took him to Great Wolf Lodge as well. That was like a fun trip. Yeah, when you have kids. And and like there's Wonderland as well. Like so many fun things.
I still love Wonderland.
Yeah,
like
it's
just
good.
as at this age.
Yeah.
Like I feel like kids just gonna slow me down. I'll be like, babe, you guys go on the teacups again. Daddy's going on fucking Leviathan. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But it'll be so nice when she's old enough to go on that stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, the Christmas thing was insane. I had never been there before but my ex got like a season pass, so we went for the Winter Wonderland.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so magical. Of course, yes, it's magical, but you also have a bunch of parents being like, get your ass back in the stroller right now! Like, just people screaming at their kids. You go in the gift shop and everyone's freaking out. I'm like, oh.
Told you not to touch anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can imagine.
It's a lot of like people freaking out and being stressed out with like this beautiful Christmas music playing in the background. Oh.
Yeah, Wonderland's different as a parent, I guess.
Yeah,
see
a
that.
little bit, yeah.
All right, well, what were you going to say?
Oh, I've just never been a huge fan of lines myself.
Okay,
so.
Were you good for roller coasters?
Yeah.
And heights? How are you with heights?
Yeah, I have to be told to open my eyes on the roller coaster.
Okay.
Like, my son's like, Mom, open your eyes! Like, otherwise I'll just, I freak it out. Yeah.
All right. What's your biggest fear? Not necessarily as a parent or just like overall.
Biggest fear?
Like everything. Because mine is like heights.
Trapped.
Heights is there for me.
Oh, being trapped.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah, probably because I already have felt like psychologically trapped, like in situations. Being physically trapped just would make it all that much worse. Like,
Claustrophobic?
Yeah, like I have a real fear now of being stuck in the subway, like in the middle of the tunnel. Because it stops a lot now.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of issues with the TTC all the time, and it'll be stopping in the middle of the tunnel and be like, okay, I have like this amount of time before I have to pick up my kid from school. And when it stops, I start panicking right away, like, oh shit, oh, what if we're gonna be in here for like an hour? What if we have to evacuate? What if, like I used to live in New York City, and I have a friend who was there, who like survived 9/11. Like she's got like a lot of real fears, like phobias now. And she actually did get stuck in the subway with her son when he was like 4, and they had to like evacuate from like the tunnel. So that is a fear of mine.
That's scary.
Yeah, getting stuck in the subway, I don't like that. Or drowning, that would be another one.
You're American? Were you born in the States?
No, actually I was born in Alberta.
Oh,
yeah, I'm from Alberta, and I made my way there, like, so I was born in, like, the suburbs just outside of Edmonton, like, basically grew up in that big-ass mall, West Edmonton Mall, and then when I was 14, on my 14th birthday, in fact, I was like, why did I get to have such a great party for my birthday? Wow, thank you so much, Mom and Dad. And they're like, okay, so, they bring out this map, like, in 6 months, we're moving here. And they pointed to Islamabad, Pakistan.
What?
Yeah.
That's a weird move.
So my dad got recruited by the UN. He got this job to go work in Islamabad. And in 6 months, we literally had straight up sold all our shit and moved to Pakistan. So I lost all my friends. There was no internet. We wrote like pen pal letters for a little while, but it lasted a certain amount of time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so it was hard because, we moved to this Muslim country, and I had to cover myself completely and always be seen like with a male. Like I couldn't go out like as a woman alone.
Wild.
And it was cool in some ways because I went to this international school which had an American curriculum, right? And so that's how I ended up in New York, because I applied for American universities and I ended up going to NYU. So moving to Pakistan was good in the sense that it got me into like a good university in New York, right? Mm-hmm. But later on in life, I had like all this PTSD come up because of the move, like because there was dangerous shit that happened when we were there. I got held at gunpoint twice. Yeah, it was fucked up. So, like I just kind of pushed it all down, and then later on in life it'll like come back up again. But we did get to travel a lot while I was there. So, we did like a lot of traveling throughout Asia and Africa, and I, as a white person, experienced a lot of racism when I was living over there. Like, a lot of like dirty looks, and I started to feel like I needed to like be different somehow or whatever. So when I moved to New York, I felt it was really weird. It was the weirdest kind of like reverse culture shock. Mm-hmm. Like I felt like a prude. I would see women wearing shorts and be like, oh my God, I have to like cover my eyes.
Right.
It took me time to like get used to North American culture again. Yeah. Okay. So after going to university in New York, I was a performer. I was an actress, and that was my initial thing. And then I actually did like this national tour. I did like this Tartuffe, this classical play that I did a national tour of. And when I got back, my visa was run out, and I didn't have anyone to sponsor me. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go back to Canada, like where I'm from originally. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to be near New York. Like I didn't want to be like a friend away from my friends in New York, because when I moved to New York, that's where I met like my friends, like who I really felt like were tight with me, like the real people. Right. And then so I just decided to move to Toronto, not knowing anyone here at all, like just completely came here by myself, not knowing anyone. And shit got totally turned upside down, because I don't even know how much like time we have or how much we're like going on here, but like, don't worry. All right. This is actually like an interesting story. Okay, it's like sad, but then it gets happy. So I had this like really good friend who was like a sister to me, right? Mm-hmm. And just before I left New York to come to Toronto, we went out and raved, and I did ecstasy for the first time, and she died.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was the night before I moved to Toronto. So I was like, okay, this is all my fault. Because I moved to Toronto, I killed my best friend. Like, this is the worst possible shit ever. So I came here totally, like, in this state of, like, crisis, and I couldn't act anymore. I gave up performing. I just couldn't do it. I tried to go to, like, a couple auditions, and I bombed completely. Like, I just completely fell apart. I was like, well, I guess that's it for my performing career. I guess it's over. So I was a waitress and started going to raves, and like started like getting into drugs and stuff, and finally after like about a couple of years, I was just like, okay, that's it, I'm done, I'm going back to school. I went back to school, became a graphic designer, and got involved in advertising, and like, yeah, it took 20 years for me to get back into performing. So
have you tried to act since? Like now that you kind of...
Yeah. So just before the pandemic, I actually started like doing headshot, like when comedy was sort of like my new segue to like get back into performing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I think I want to start doing musical theater again. I started like taking singing lessons, getting headshots done. And I auditioned and I actually landed a theatrical role of Ursula in The Little Mermaid.
What?
And the show got fucking canceled.
Oh, no. Yo, Ursula? Let me tell you something about Ursula right here. I don't care. Like, Little Mermaid is like top. Like, we're going to do top 5 in a couple minutes. Ursula, for sure. If I was going like Disney villains, like... Even just Disney movies, like Little Mermaid is like top 5 for sure. Ursula scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Oh my god. She was so powerful.
Who do they have play? They're doing a live action. And I think Melissa McCarthy McCarthy?
Perfect.
She's doing it, right?
Oh, she's one of my faves. I don't know. I didn't know that. But thank you
they're
for
definitely
sharing that
doing a
with
live
me.
action. I want to say it's her. I think it's her.
Awesome.
But that kind of sucks that it got canceled.
Oh yeah, it was. I was so psyched, and I thought they would resume. Thought they would put on the production after the pandemic was over, but pandemic just kept going.
Yeah.
Just kept going.
Yeah.
So that fell through, and then I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna do my own show. Like, I guess I'm just gonna start to put together my own show, and that's sort of just what I've been doing, workshopping the songs through other people's shows, and I'm not rushing it too much. I'm doing it in sort of the time frame that I want, because really now it's actually straight up important to me to be happy. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's weird how it took all those I felt like for a long time, just because I kind of went into my last relationship and kind of basically just gave up. I don't want to say gave up, because it was willing, so I feel like gave up is not the right terminology to use, but I basically just changed my lifestyle completely. Mm-hmm. From as soon as we moved in together, it was just completely different.
Yeah.
And I was making real dinners, and I was doing things that I just rarely did, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's
great,
a huge change. Yeah.
Comedy's great.
So you got into comedy when that relationship ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's for me, when I got out of the relationship, I felt like I don't want to say I didn't know who I was, but I wasn't who I knew. I want to say this the right way. I wasn't who I should be. You know what I mean? I had just through just doing things. I didn't do anything for myself for so long, man. It was I was really just living for them, truly, You were
in that relationship, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I found comedy. And I just, started taking Second City classes while we were still living together.
Yeah.
It was all right, we're splitting up, but it's going to take me time to find a place, and she ended up moving to Guelph. Fuck, Guelph.
Oh, wow.
What?
All the way to Guelph.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, well, she has family in Guelph and stuff like that, so...
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's how it was when you were getting out of, your marriage? Would you... Okay, couple questions. Would you still get married now that you've been married? Are you guys just separated, or did you go through,
Okay, well, here's the thing, is that I've never been into weddings, okay? I'm not big on weddings. Okay. Even marriage in general, I actually am not really keen on the idea of it, the concept of it. Mm-hmm. So when we got married, we're like, you know what? We've spent our whole lives doing everything for our families. He's Greek. His Greek family was really not loving that we didn't have a huge wedding. But anyway, and my parents, every time, they live in BC, so every time I had to travel to see them. So we're like, you know what? We're going to take a trip. We're going to get married. We're going to do it for ourselves. We straight up went to Vegas. And instead of doing a chapel wedding, we organized this trip where we went into the Valley of Fire National Park. It's red rocks and petroglyphs. Okay. It's ancient area. It's really, really beautiful. Yeah. So because I was like, well, if we're eloping, all we're going to get is the photos, right? So hire a place. So we hired this company that had the limo, the photographer, and you could choose the ceremony to be religious or civil or whatever. So dude showed up and did a civil ceremony. And and then we went to a nightclub, and that was, for me, I was like, this is what getting married is like. I really, really like this. And then I looked back on it and I was like, okay, Lara, be honest with yourself. Why did you do it that way? Really, really? Was it because you don't believe in marriage, or was it because you knew it wasn't going to work out? I knew it wasn't going to work out. I knew. That's why I didn't want all my friends and family there to witness it. Yeah. I admit it now.
See, I always and
I know that
fair
sounds
enough.
So weak of me.
It's okay. It's okay. It's your life. You're allowed to, live your life how you want to live it. I just like I said, I was engaged with my ex.
So at one point you're like, we do this or we don't do this, right? And
like I just like something that seemed more appealing to me because I just feel like weddings. Like the super big weddings, like the giant, massive, like wedding crasher weddings. You know what I mean?
50 grand.
Just, it's like, it's for other people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we're about to start a life.
that wedding.
100%. I used to like, I'm a chef, like that's generally my 9 to 5. That's usually where I get most of my money from.
Nice.
But like and like at one point I was doing like catering and like working at Mississauga Convention Center.
Oh, nice.
And they do like super expensive weddings. Like I did a wedding, like I had 8 halls. There was one wedding that was like 7 of the halls. It was like $250,000, yo. They had an ice bar from like one end to the other.
Oh.
7 halls, yo, of an ice bar. Like they just worked.
What?
Yo. And I'm just like, that's purely for other people. Like unless you have like millions of dollars, and I'm sure those people that had that wedding did, but like people just, I feel like spend too much on weddings is what I'm saying. And I would prefer doing something just for like the main people.
Or you could just be like, okay, like just don't tell anyone that who you're organizing things with that it is a wedding because they'll charge you double, right? Just like be like, we're having a party and we're going on a trip after.
It's great advice, yo.
You know? Yeah, it's not actually a wedding. So.
All right, yo. I think we should get into the top 5 now.
Okay.
And I don't know what you want to start with, but you had a lot of good ones that, like, I don't know. This is like the 59th episode. And, like, sometimes we repeat a lot.
I wish it was the 69th episode.
10 away, yo. 10 away. But, like, I liked a lot of the ones you had. Okay, so I want to start with actresses because I have a thing here.
Okay.
Because, like, I thought, and I don't care, but I thought, like, is it like a real, you're an actor, right? You've acted. So,
I have
like,
acted. I have done some acting.
When you refer to, like, people that do that, like, because I feel like most of the time now, like, actresses has been, like, phased out. They're just like, oh, she's an actor. I don't know why.
Oh, the word actress.
Yeah, the word actress.
Oh, for a second I thought you meant like it's all just influencers now. There's no such thing as acting anymore.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant the actual, like, word actress.
Oh, okay,
Not, I feel like maybe frowned upon or it's just not used anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know. But it's like every time, people
when
just
woke things happen, I don't always find out right away.
It's hard to keep up, man.
Yeah.
But let's start with them. Okay, let's start with actresses.
Okay.
Do you want to go first?
Okay, sure. For funny actresses, Kristen Wiig is my favorite.
She's so good.
Love her so
funny.
much, and I can watch Bridesmaids a million times, especially when she's like drunk on the airplane and she's like, what is that? There's a colonial woman churning butter on the wing. Oh, anyways, best scene ever. Okay, Kristen Wiig, Jennifer Lawrence for romantic stuff.
Okay.
I think she's so good at romance. Kate Winslet for drama, particularly her first movie, Heavenly Creatures. I love that movie. It was an independent film. I remember seeing it at the Angelica Theater in New York. I was blown away by it. If you haven't seen it, try to find it. It's her very first movie.
All right.
She's like a teenager in it. Juliette Lewis for weirdness, and my favorite overall actress is Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman. Mm-hmm. That's my girlfriend's favorite actress.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like when we talk about like celebrity crushes and shit, right? Like that's her crush. So Natalie Portman. Like I'm like, she like V for Vendetta. That was her, right? That was really good.
She was in that. Yeah.
All right, so my number one. Emma Stone. I think she's super well-rounded. And she's like not like I just think she can do a lot of like she has like corny humor stuff like Easy A, but then she has like real like Birdman. She's in Birdman with Michael Keaton. Like she just covers all her bases. I feel like she's done some superhero
press conference
stuff.
once, and someone was like, "You look amazing," and she's like, "'Cause that's what's important."
Yeah, right? Like she doesn't fuck around, and she does look amazing, but she's also like really skilled, you know?
Oh, she's so good.
She brings everything to the table. And my second one, Sandra Bullock. Feel like most of my favorite ones, and like I All About Steve, I really like that one. The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds. Miss Congeniality. Like I like all like pretty much
I like her
most of the
dramatic
stuff. She did like Speed 2. I think actually Speed 2 was like the first movie I saw with her in it. I'm thinking
Gravity?
about it.
Have you seen Gravity?
I have seen Gravity. Amazing. I'm a sucker for those kind of like more realistic space movies, but I'm not really like a sci-fi guy, to be honest. Like I don't like Star Wars or Star Trek or not really into that. But yeah, Rosario Dawson, my number 3.
Ooh, you got good ones.
I'm going. Oh, see, it was hard. It was really hard. Like I have a lot. Charlize Theron.
She was on
how do you say her last name?
Theron.
Theron. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I say it.
Okay, that's how I'm gonna say it. She's my number 4. Just, I mean, the movie Monster alone. Oh my god!
I had a panic attack during that movie. I had to turn it off. I was like watching it.
It's insane. It's an amazing performance. Whew. And then this one was stuck. I had a couple people, like just for 5, but I had to settle on Elizabeth Banks, Kristen Wiig. I also really like Catherine Hahn. I also really like
Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn.
Who is that? I actually don't know that actress.
You definitely would know it. Do you see Step Brothers? Have you ever seen Step Brothers?
With Will Ferrell and John C.
Riley. Yeah. She's she's in that movie, and she's married to Will Ferrell's brother, but she's sleeping with John C. Riley.
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And they're all like at the table, and there's like a giant bottle of Coca-Cola, and he's like, yeah.
So, yeah. But Elizabeth Banks probably made she would be my
She's
5th.
wonderful.
But there's so many, I also, Gabrielle Union, I also want to say her too. Oh my god, Nia Long, man. Honestly,
so many. It's hard for 5. It's hard to do 5.
It is really hard for 5. I watch a lot of stuff too.
Me too.
I don't.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you watching right now?
I just like TV shows.
Well, whatever.
Okay, actually, the other night I was just like relaxing, and I threw on Good Will Hunting again, just for no reason. Just put it on, just cause.
That's your comfort movie, or one of them.
Yeah. But new things that I watched. I've just recently finished the most recent series of Outlander, which a friend of mine got me into. It's just epic fucking. That's all. That's all it is. All right. Anyway.
No worries. I just watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's like a mind fuck of a movie, but I really enjoyed it. I watched it last night. Thought it was pretty good. It's just like a realistic. It's not like a superhero movie, but it deals with like multiverse and like alternate timelines and stuff like that.
Perfect. Ooh, that sounds good for me.
It's a bit of a mind fuck, but it's good. I don't know what things you have. You could torrent it. I feel like now that Netflix is see, you're the age of like LimeWire. You use LimeWire.
I did use LimeWire.
Yeah. See,
I even used like BearShare and Kazaa.
Yeah, exactly. Like people are gonna get more into those things.
Napster.
Napster.
Yeah. Workopolis.
It's on Prime, but you could definitely torrent it or, illegally download it because
the movie I tell everybody to watch is one of my favorite films. I know we're getting off topic for a second, but my favorite, what I've watched a million times when I tell people is this independent movie called The Florida Project. Okay. It is one of my favorite movies. It came out like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and it just blows me away. It's an independent movie. Willem Dafoe is in it, and it's about this really poor single mom trying to like live in this hotel outside of the Disneyland theme park. Like,
oh yeah, right?
Oh my god. Such a good movie.
Have you seen Maid?
Yes. That's good. Yeah.
I was like, that's the only thing I've ever seen her in it. Like that I can't remember her name, but the lady in that movie, that's her real daughter in real life, which is really cool. But like just based on that show alone, I almost put her in my top 5 just because I love that show so much. All right, what do you think about writers?
Okay, writers. I put them into categories because there's different types of writing. All right. First one, the big WS, the Shakespeare. Okay, I know I sound like a nerd, but I did have a big boner for Shakespeare in high school and had like a double major. Also, like, Shakespeare wrote really strong women. He just wrote really, really strong women and the best, like, just total pussy men. Like, Hamlet is the biggest pussy of all time. He's so well written. So I love Shakespeare for that fact. Right. Novels, I like Anthony Burgess, who wrote A Clockwork Orange, because he basically just invented the language for that novel. And Amy Tan, she's like a Asian American writer who wrote The Joy Luck Club and The 100 Secret Senses. I really like how she writes about like the immigrant experience. Mm-hmm. So for comedy, favorite writers, Matt Stone, Trey Parker. I honestly just don't think anyone has done better than South Park. Like, so good.
They didn't make mine. And so I love them though. It's not it's like, I love South Park.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't love them. I realize now. Like,
they should be on the list. Yeah. I have more than 5. There's 6. Because I chose one for animation, which is Andrew Stanton.
Okay.
He's my favorite animation writer. And for just all things women, Lena Dunham is my favorite.
Okay.
I loved Girls. It reminded me so much of my own New York experience.
That was with, who was in Girls?
Lena Dunham, and then she made What's-His-Face famous, the guy who ended up in Star Wars, Adam Driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a few women in it too that like went on to have other roles, but yeah, Lena Dunham, I really like her. Mm-hmm.
I was mistaking it for Girls Trip with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh yeah, no, that's a movie.
I know the movie you're talking about now, but that's the movie I was thinking.
With Tiffany Haddish as well. Oh, yeah. That's so funny. And they like accidentally trip on shrooms, and she's like, "Girl, we've been tripping balls." Tiffany Haddish is so funny.
She is. I remember at one point she like bombed a set, and like everyone was on her ass. Like, yeah, it's you imagine. Well, like people were saying she bombed. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's hard to really imagine, but she's just such a boss, and she handled it all in stride, and like it's like she's a fucking comedian. Even if she didn't do well, it's like, what do you think? They're just gonna be on point like every single time?
Yeah.
There's
so much pressure when you become famous to just.
It's weird.
Be perfect all the time.
Yeah, they're artists. They're not pilots. You know what I mean? They're not surgeons.
This isn't surgery. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so my number 1 is Kevin Smith. I just love the thing with him is like he does movies, he does shows, he also does comic books. Like he's all over.
He writes a lot of stuff.
So I like all of it. So he's for sure got to be my number 1. Then I'm going Mike Judge.
Nice.
I'm a huge and like. Beavis and Butthead was like my introduction, but I'm a fan of King of the Hill.
Oh my god, I totally skipped that one. I'm sorry. I interrupted you. I forgot the television writing. I put Mike Judge and Alan Ball. So
okay, all right. So no worries.
You're not gonna...
Oh shit, I didn't even see it at first. What is your like Mike Judge fave?
Oh, King of the Hill.
King of the Hill, eh?
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm a Beavis and Butthead guy, but I do love... I heard they're bringing back King of the Hill. They just brought Beavis and Butthead back, and I hear they're bringing back King of the Hill too.
Except there's no Brittany Murphy.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I wonder who's gonna...
I don't know, but man, I love that show.
Yeah, great show.
Sorry, I keep interrupting your lists.
No worries. Scott Snyder's my number 3. He's a comic book writer, and another comic book writer, Alan Moore. He's my number 4. He did like V for Vendetta and Watchmen.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And then, I don't know, like, I feel like I like Matt Groening. I like Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I do. I even like Lauren Wood, the guy who does Bob's Burgers, Bouchard or whatever his last name is.
Yeah, I haven't ever actually watched Bob's Burgers.
What?
I know, I used to be a major Simpsons fan. I was like one of those annoying Simpsons quoting people in the early 2000s.
Yo, let me tell you, as an old, like, and I imagine... You like more of the older school, so not when like Family Guy came around and they started. Yes, exactly. This Bob's Burgers, I'm telling you, it reminds me of the old school Simpsons, like before Family Guy came around and they started competing with Family Guy. That's what it reminds me of. It's like a very family oriented kind of like experience, and they're just a close knit unit, and like there's usually lessons at the end of each episode. That's how it feels to me.
Oh, good.
But
I'll check it out for sure.
that being said, Seth MacFarlane is my number 5. I love all those adult cartoons, like, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. I'm not super huge on Rick and Morty, can take it or leave it, but, yeah, Seth MacFarlane, I think he's just, he's like the clip, like, there's so many clips you could just take from Family Guy.
Yes,
that would...
the cutaways are the best, really.
Yeah.
He does.
That's my 5.
Nice, nice.
Speaking of clips, right into viral shit. Okay, so I said viral videos. Doesn't necessarily need to be videos, but all mine are videos.
You want to go first on this one?
I will go first on this one. Okay, and now it's. Do you have TikTok?
No, I don't. No. I don't take the talk.
Word, me either. Okay, so like I felt like you might be more. Like you might know more of these videos than me because I'm like not super hip on like TikTok or like I do spend a lot of time on Instagram and Facebook, but I don't keep up with the stuff. So my number 1, Wicked Witch of the East. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I don't. Please explain.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Okay, so it's some group of friends is like sitting around and they're arguing who you know, the Wicked Witch of the West, she dies. The end of Wizard of Oz, or whenever she dies in Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And then her, like, sister comes down. And they were arguing, like, who she was. Right? And his point was like, she's the Wicked Witch of the East. Like, and then she would, like, it was basically just their argument. It's like, something that she came down in a bubble dog. Like, and they were just, like, arguing and going back and forth. And the one dude's like, I'm gonna stab him. And like, dude, am I wrong? Grow up! And he like storms out of the room. It's so funny. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
They're arguing over the Wicked Witch.
It's the most ridiculous like argument. It doesn't even come in at the beginning. I feel like it comes in like their friend's sitting with them. It's like, I gotta record this shit. Like,
these guys always talking about bullshit.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good bullshit conversation.
She was wearing a crown and she came down in a bubble, dog. Like, it's so good. I'm gonna send it to you as soon as we're done this.
Nice.
So that's my number 1. Another one is this football player. I don't know his name. I'm not really into football, but he's doing like an interview. And like in the middle of like answering something, he sneezes. And he goes, bless you. Thank you. And he like thanks himself. Like, every time I see it, like these things like.
Bless you. Thank you.
Like I guess he's saying. I get it saying bless you, man. I get it. But the thank you is what really gets me. Every time. It's only like a 7-second video, too. And it just kills me.
He's his own best friend.
Okay, and I'm a super sucker for, like, animal videos. And there's this one with I have a golden retriever.
Oh.
And it's like a service dog golden retriever at Disneyland. And it's just, like, sitting all perfectly, like, by itself. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, but... Tigger comes out, and like apparently like Tigger like has a bunch of Tigger toys and stuff like that, and so just meeting this like giant life-size Tigger, it was like, I don't know, super cute to see. I'm a sucker for that shit, or like any kind of like rescuing. I don't know viral ones, but like I watch a lot of those. Where it's like, you know, I'm on the bus going to work like crying and shit. You know what I mean? Like
that gives you the feels.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
My number 4 is this dude from Queens. He's like it's like a big dude, like chubby dude, and his name's Queens Flip. And his whole thing started when he was like in the front seat with his son, and he was like driving him. So it was early because his son was eating like Cheerios or like something like that, some sort of cereal, and like he puts on like some like I'm pretty sure it was like some sort of like reggae music or what's that MOP song? Oh my God. Anyways, he starts like wilding out to like the song, right? And he's like, you know, getting real into it. And then he like smacks his son's cereal like in his face and he starts like shaking him and shit. Oh man, he's like taking his jacket off and he's just going crazy. And his son's like, what the fuck? And so that's my number 4. He's done a lot of stuff, but like the first like 2 or 3, the very first one's the best.
He's freaking
the cereal
out,
one.
kid.
Yeah. Do you know any of the ones I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my God.
I'm so excited to hear this.
Okay. And the 5th one is, this one is not like, I feel bad for the dog. But, okay, so this family, I guess, has lived in their place for a long time. And their dog's blind. It always jumps on the couch. But they moved where the couch was. And so the dog's just trotting along the floor in like the living room, and he goes and he jumps, and then he like just right into the wall and like the heater on the ground. Like, it's so bad, but it's like hilarious, man. Like, I love pets.
That sounds like America's Funniest Home Videos level.
It's gotta be.
Do you remember how they used to do America's Funniest Home Videos? Always dogs jumping into shit. Like,
I loved it. Well, like, I watched it when, because they're doing it still, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't, it's a different host. Like, I like the Bob Saget era. That's what I watched it. Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
All right, what about you?
All right, well, mine's all old shit. Hold on. Where is it here? Okay, well, number one, Lazy Sunday. So, like, I think it was one of the first viral videos to ever go viral. It's a clip of, like, an old SNL skit where they're doing a rap about cupcakes and Sunday, and they're like, Chronic what? Coals of Narnia!
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Chronic what? Coals of Narnia! Love that one.
Yeah.
The next one is the Honey Badger. Do you know the Honey Badger?
I don't know.
Okay, it's this video of this honey badger animal who's just like crazy going nuts around stuff, and it's this guy narrating it, and he's like, "This is the honey badger. He doesn't give a shit. Honey badger doesn't give a shit about anything. Oh, just look at what he's doing." And it's like the narration of the honey badger that's funny.
Okay.
The third one is banana bread at work. Hell yeah. Have you seen that one? Okay. It's the reason I know it isn't from seeing the video originally. It's because I listen to a bunch of like DJs on SoundCloud that do mixes, and they often start their mixes with a clip of the banana bread guy.
Okay.
It's just this guy who's got his phone, like you can barely see his face. He's like driving to work. He's got his phone, and he's telling this story about how he got banana bread at work. Okay, and he's like, life really fucking sucks. Okay, like scratching your eye, but it's still fucking itchy. Fucking not getting paid a lot of money for fucking working. But banana bread at work? Hell yeah, bro! So I love that one a lot, just because it builds and builds and builds.
All right.
The Kermit, this is really old, but the Kermit the Frog reaction to 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
I've seen that, yeah. I know that one too.
I remember that's our origin of reaction videos, right? 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
I feel like.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, but the Kermit the Frog one was the best, I thought. Yeah, of course, the Rickroll. I actually really like the Rickroll.
All right.
Yeah, and the Rickroll still exists. My son uses the Rickroll in his games that he designs, so he's like, "Look, Mom, it's a Rickroll!"
That's
love
awesome.
the Rickroll, yeah. So mine are all old because I don't really watch YouTube or anymore. Like I only used to, like back in the day. And I don't have TikTok on my phone because
What was the one before Vine? Did you have Vine?
No, I never used Vine. No.
I never used that either. I did briefly get TikTok, but then
I used it for 1 hour of my life, and
Yeah.
I was really concerned about myself after that 1 hour. Like I was like, this happened so quickly. Like, I don't know where that hour of my life went, but these videos kept happening, and I felt like I just became one with my phone in, like, not a good way.
Yeah.
And the first time I tried to put a TikTok video on TikTok, I got, like, this weird gut feeling, like something was very wrong. And I deleted it right away and deleted TikTok, and I was like, I'm just done with this. This does not feel right for me.
All right.
Yeah, although
That's fair.
I know that, I think I could probably do pretty well on TikTok with some of the videos that I have on YouTube, like some of the shorts.
The stuff that you like, your stories, I feel like some of the, you know.
Yeah, like I think I could probably start to do some comedy on TikTok, and maybe eventually I will, like, use that as a new platform. But for me, I have to, like, be careful about this, like, triggering my OCD. Social media in general is so bad for, like, OCD. It's so bad.
What do you mean?
Like, when you have OCD, you do things, like, obsessively without wanting to.
Right.
So you have to, like, create boundaries around the use of social media. Otherwise, you know, so I try to have as few as possible.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think that was all of them. Oh, we have another top 5. We have one last top 5.
Oh, we got a couple.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we do. We have superheroes. I want to end with opening scenes.
Oh, you want to
I
end
thought
with
that was a great
All right,
one.
I didn't think about that.
I'll do my superheroes quick.
Okay, cool.
Batman, I do them every episode. Like, superheroes is the one that I ask everybody, just because I'm, like, a little bit of a nerd. I haven't said it, we just moved. Wow, I shouldn't say just, it's March, we moved January 1st. But everything isn't fully set up yet, but, like, I got comics, I'm a super, super big nerd, so, like, most of mine aren't real people. Like, none of them are real people, if anything. They're all imaginary. So, Batman's number 1. Ninja Turtles, like, as a group, they're my number 2.
Nice! Oh, I never would have thought of that. Love it.
It's kind of a cop-out, putting all of them, but, like, they're always a group. Do you know what I mean? They're not like the Avengers, where you have, like, side Spider-Man stories and stuff. Like, the Ninja Turtles are the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, no, they're definitely a group.
Then I'm going Red Hood. Arsenal's my number 4, and Spider-Man is my number 5. If I was doing a real person, I would say, because people, when they do real people, they just made me feel like shit that I've, like, because I've been through some stuff. Like, I was raised in foster homes. I had a lot of people, like, be there for me. Not a lot, but, like, certain people that I definitely could have put as, like, real life superheroes. But my Nana was, like, basically my mom. You know, she was my mom. My mom wasn't my mother, so she's, like, legitimately as real a superhero as I've ever met. And yeah,
nice.
So that's that.
That's awesome. I love that list. That's a great list. Superheroes. Yeah, I have, like, sort of like a mixed feeling about superheroes. I do like them, but I don't like them when they're being super. I like them when they're struggling. I like the rise to the superhero. So I love Nolan's Batman, Christopher Nolan's Batman. I love the Christian Bale Batman. Specifically, the ninja training, like, really got me. I love that one. Love that movie so much. Love how he's facing his fears, like with the bats in the cave and everything. That's
my trilogy. When I, like, talk about trilogies, that's... So
I just love that one, I like the alternate Spider-Mans in the Spider-Verse. The Into the Spider-Verse movie where there's like, Lazy Spider-Man and Porky Pig Spider-Man. I love that.
Porker.
Peter Porker, I really, really liked that one. I saw that with my son in the theater. We really liked that.
It is really good, yeah.
I also like the X-Men. I like them all separately when they're struggling and haven't found each other. I kind of feel like that myself. I feel like kind of a mutant myself, and then I'm kind of always looking for other mutants. So.
What would you want your power to be?
I do already have a superpower.
Go ahead.
It's telepathy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
All right.
And just so you know, it's not fun having it. It's not a fun superpower to have. It's something I actually tried to learn, and then after it started happening more often, I actually had to work on shutting it down.
Okay.
Yeah. Humans are telepathic naturally.
All right.
Yeah. Nolan's Batman, Into the Spider-Verse, X-Men. Just all single moms during the pandemic. Just moms in general. I just think are superheroes. Well, maybe not all of them, but
the good ones.
Just basically calling myself a superhero. I'm like, I'm a single mom. I'm telepathic. I'm an X-Man. I'm looking for other mutants. Like, I'm
bitch.
About to save the fucking world.
yeah.
I've arrived on this couch as a superhero, so yeah. No, but if I wanted an actual superpower, I think it would probably be to fly, because I have flown in my dreams, and I lucid dream, and I really do feel like I'm flying. Yeah, and so it's a pretty cool feeling. So I think I'd want to probably be able to fly.
Do you, like, remember, like, those kind of dreams?
Oh, yeah.
Like, vividly?
I remember dreams from when I was a child.
Man, I do have things that I remember from dreams, but I feel like, especially, okay, say I wake up, and I just, like, had a crazy dream where I, like, fell asleep. I woke up, and I fell back asleep, and I continued on from that dream, like, it was super intense, and then I wake up, and I remember a lot, but as the day progresses, I forget it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you don't write it down or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of dreams that came true.
Okay.
A lot. Had a lot of deja vus.
Yeah.
I actually recently went to take a tour of a community center where I was taking a class, and they showed me this one room. I walked into the room and I'm like, oh, I dreamed this entire thing. I just dreamed this entire thing. They opened the door to the costume room. All the costumes were exactly as they were in the dream. I'm like, whoa, this is exactly happening. Yeah, and my son has told me that's happened to him too, where things came true that he dreamed about. So I guess we both can sort of tell the future a bit in our dreams. And my ex-husband, he's a manifester in his dreams. He works out shit, like problem solves in his dreams. Try to figure out how to get shit done. Yeah.
No, I'm not there. I'm not there.
Yeah, dreaming's cool. But I actually, I also have like pretty bad nightmares sometimes. So I kind of got to use like weed for that sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was actually thinking about asking you if like you smoke because like maybe, I don't know, like.
Yeah,
when I think about dreams and like third eye shit and I'm like, maybe it's like what I'm doing to myself that I don't have these experiences. You know?
What do you mean?
Just like I did a lot of drugs and like just from things that I've done to my body. Like I know like calcification of like your pineal gland is like a real thing and like just like I feel like maybe I've done things to my body or am
so that
still
you might
doing
actually be
things.
having like out of body experiences?
No, well I'm not experiencing like dreams like that vividly. Like I don't remember them and they're not like a strong, like I definitely have them, but like no way would I be able to problem solve anything. It's all, I feel like dreams in my world are just like me kind of like watching someone else play a video game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where it's like third person and I'm like there behind the head, but I can't really do anything about what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, like you're watching a movie or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds dope.
Yeah, well, no, it freaks me out sometimes. It's happened to the point where I'm like, what's happening in my dreams? Am I traveling to the future? Am I traveling into different scenes? Like, what exactly is going on here? It's so weird. So.
All right. So, that was superheroes opening scenes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. I'll start. Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad.
Oh, darn, I haven't seen it.
It's my number one. The one that James Gunn did, the newest one. Not the first one that they did, the second one. There's one called Suicide Squad, and then there's one called The Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of like a reboot / sequel. Like, it's somewhere along those lines. And so, like, at the very beginning, just, like, everyone that you think is gonna be in the movie fucking dies.
Oh.
Everybody. Like, there's like 2 people that make it out. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The opening scene. Yeah, it's great. And so it's just, yeah, that's my number one. And then I'm going X2, the second X-Men movie, the one that Hugh Jackman was in when he was actually, like, being Wolverine. The second one had
so good.
a crazy scene of, what the hell? Nightcrawler breaking into the White House. And that was just super dope. Bad Boys 2, I thought was it's good and it's funny.
Oh, I don't remember that
it's
one.
Like
it's been too long.
They're dressed as like KKK guys, and they're at like a meeting. And then Martin Lawrence gets shot in the ass. That was good. The Dark Knight. The heist beginning when the Joker.
Oh, that's a super famous opening scene now. Yeah.
Yeah, as a huge Batman fan, like, maybe some people might think that'd be higher on the list, but that's number 4. And then Scream, man. Like, the original Scream.
Drew Barrymore?
Yeah, like, now it's become, like, this, like, staple, like, kind of like this, Ghostface is, like, this generic kind of deal with Scary Movie, they, you know, whatever, but, like, when it was first coming out, man.
Oh, it was intense, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I heard they found their liver in the mailbox, you know? Liver alone. Like, just like, she got messed up at the very beginning as well. Okay, so yeah, that's
a really, really good opening scene. Yeah.
What you got?
Well, I like musicals a
Okay.
lot. So my number one favorite opening scene is Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay.
Where, because they got like, you know, they have like the monologue going through space similar to Star Wars, and it's like dun 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 dun, and there's like a whole monologue, and then it goes like into the piano music and then like the three ladies singing. Anyway, love Little Shop of Horrors. And the second one, Austin Powers. The first Austin Powers, where they're doing like the dance down the street.
Yeah.
Some point in my life, I must have this happen. Like, I gotta have it happen for me, okay? Where I'm doing a marching band down the street. I've seen it in my head so many times. And when I'm having the worst day, sometimes in my mind, I'm just like, This helps. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
Really, really good opening scene. Yeah, I love that one where I think it's filmed in Hawaii, but it's supposed to be somewhere else, where he's getting the artifact and he steals it, and then they're chasing him, there's a boulder rolling after him, and then he runs to the plane and they're like, start the engine. Super, super intense, like, opening scene.
There's a new one coming out. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah, Harrison Ford too.
No.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
No, I don't want it to keep going. Actually,
Fair.
I thought it was good after 3. The Social Network has a really good opening scene.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Yeah, I haven't seen.
Oh my god, I'm totally feeling like Jay Peterman in Seinfeld right now, where he's like, Elaine, you have never seen the English Patient. We're going right now.
I just watched Seinfeld for the first time all the way through, like, over the pandemic. Because I was, like, super into Curb,
the
right?
one-liners.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I was like, oh, man, like, it's all Larry David, so it's like, yeah, maybe I should check out Seinfeld. I'm a little older now. When I was, like, back in the day, I was like, oh, Seinfeld's for old people. But now I'm the old person, so I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad It's no Curb. I like Curb Your Enthusiasm more, but Seinfeld's alright.
I love how you could just flip it on if you're, if I'm just like, I'm at home having lunch, just want to flip something on while I'm eating or whatever. It's just so quick, like just random shit that happens. They'll be like eating in the diner and Elaine will show up with her boyfriend who's wearing a trench coat and Jerry will just be like, is he from the future? Like just random shit like that.
Favorite Seinfeld episode? This is kind of in between, I'm sorry. But what is it? I'm going the parking lot.
Vandalay Industries.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay, so the Social Network's a really the Social Network is a really good opening because that's about about Facebook, how Facebook was invented.
Yeah.
And it basically shows his girlfriend breaking up with him and is straight up the whole reason why social media invented is basically because this narcissistic douchebag is insecure and offended, so he goes and like invents this app to get back at his girlfriend. It's like, oh, that's how social media started, ladies and gentlemen.
Crazy.
And then of course The Lion King is an excellent opening to a movie.
Okay.
You were really hoping I wasn't gonna do it. I used to work at the Broadway production of The Lion King.
Oh, that's cool.
Like in New York, like when it first opened, and we had no idea what they were saying, so we'd be like, "Pink pajamas, penguins on the bottom."
all right. Sometimes I make up like if I don't know, I make up what I think it sounds like, and then I find out the real words, and I just still stick to what I came up with.
Yeah.
I don't care. My thing sounds better.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm stubborn. All right.
I would do that.
Let's end on one of these bad boys. You pick first.
Okay. Oh, I got a pink one.
All right. Okay.
I ask first?
Go ahead. You can.
What do you share openly, and what is best kept private?
Man, honestly, like, I'm pretty open book. I don't like talking about like my family. Like I was raised in foster homes. Like I had just a bunch of shit, and like was very rarely with my mother. Like she's not a good person. But like even still, I've talked about it a lot. I've done a couple solo episodes where I go more in depth on things that happen and stuff like that. If you haven't seen those, definitely check them out.
I totally watched the episode of you telling Avi all about your foster care.
Oh, okay.
I loved it.
All right.
It was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm a pretty open book, honestly. You know, this is what this whole thing is for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, does that answer? That answers,
I think
right?
so. I think it answers. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Some stuff is just too personal to share.
Yeah. Is that how you feel?
I do, but sometimes my gums just flap anyway, and I say the wrong shit to the wrong people. It's a bad habit.
Yeah, it happens. But that's just, I feel like that's just what happens when you're a good person. And
Thank you
in a
for
world
saying
where
that.
people aren't always good people, I feel like, you know? Yeah. All right. Did you have an early Did you have an early or significant experience with death, and how did you deal with it?
Yes. I've had several near-death experiences.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. The first one was when I was 4 months old. I almost died of an asthma attack, and I went to the hospital, and the doctor saved me. My mom told me about that. I don't remember that one. Then there was also the 2 times being held at gunpoint, which my life totally flashed before my eyes.
For sure.
And also, just before the pandemic, I was roller skating, and I took a big fall, and I fell like on my ass really hard, and broke my tailbone. And it caused like this weird psychological experience, which felt like a near-death experience as well. So yeah, does that actually answer the question? Yeah. How did you deal with it?
Yeah.
How did you deal with it? Okay, so the last one, which, because it was like it ended up being like a psychological thing, I dealt with it through mainly through art therapy. I do art therapy a lot. Like, I like to just throw down paint. It feels great. Or just like use markers. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That was a really long answer to that question.
Oh, really?
But near-death experiences are interesting.
Yeah, I haven't. Death has been weird for me. I also had like a experience where I had cops pull guns on me, 2 of them, just because I was living in like a rooming house, and like some of the people there were like, it was this whole fucking fiasco. But essentially, there was like a warrant for the people that lived upstairs, and I lived in the basement. But I talked to everyone upstairs, right? We're all in the same house, and like late at night, one night. There's like a bunch of noise, but I had to work in the morning, and my girlfriend's like, hey, like, there's a bunch of noise. And I was like, kind of like, fuck off, you know, leave me alone. And then when I woke up, she was like, hey, like, you should go check out. So, like, something happened yesterday. And so I get up, and I'm in, like, pajamas still. I fucking have my house coat on, and I just go up, and there's cops, like, at the end of the driveway. Not, like, in the driveway, but kind of, like, blocking it off, do you know? And the front door's open. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And they, like, honk at me, and they, like, signal something. Like, but they don't wind their window down. So I'm like, what? Like, I fucking live here. Like, fuck off, you know? And I go inside, and I'm like, you know, Howie, Mike, the people that I know, and I'm trying to see if no one's in there. And I, like, walk to the end of the hallway, and I see that no one's in there. I looked in every room, no one's there. And as I'm coming out, fucking cops come in, like, put your fucking hands in the air, blah, blah. So I'm, like, in the hallway, and I can see them a little bit. One's like, all right, like, stand against the wall. He's telling me to, like, put my hands, like, against the wall and, like, stand there. And the other guy's, like, telling me to, like, have my hands in the air and, like, walk back. And I'm like, yo, figure out what you want me to do, because, like, I'm not trying to die here. And so that was, like, something, you know?
That is
and honestly, it was just, like, it was, like, such a heat of the moment thing that it didn't really, like, affect me until, like, afterwards. Like, I wasn't, like, super nervous. But after it happened, I, like, kind of went down. I was like, yo, I was just, like, it was weird, you know?
Yeah. Usually these things end up with a little bit of PTSD, like, have, like, flashbacks after or whatever. Like, for me, that's what I find for these experiences. Like, there's just, like, sometimes I just remember it, like, in great detail.
Like, randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you with, like, funerals and stuff.
Yeah, not great. Yeah.
Yeah, I had like I said, my nana was kind of like my mom, and when she passed away, I was like at a shitty point in my life, like doing drugs and just not necessarily the best me. Mm-hmm. And so when she passed, like I didn't have the means to get down to like BC, and I couldn't go to like her service or her whatever that was going on for her. Mm-hmm. And so for like a long time, like I had friends die of like overdose, suicide. I had a lot of people die in my life. And up until like a few years ago, like one of my good friends, Tom, he passed away, and I was like, I have to go to fucking Tom's thing. Like I can't not, like he's one of my best friends. Like I gotta fucking go. Mm-hmm. But it's like my first funeral ever, and it was an open casket.
Oh, the open casket is so
I
bad.
fucking just never cried like that in my entire life. Like, and like I just started like dating I've been dating my girlfriend for less than a year.
Oh,
and it was like, it was such a rough time, but.
Yeah.
I am glad I went, but at the same time, like I don't get open caskets, yo. Like just like why?
Yeah, don't do it.
Why would you?
It looks very bad. I have another question on here, right?
Let's do it. Yeah, you
do. What is something illegal that you find morally acceptable?
Ooh, that's a decent one. You can put that one in here, actually, so I don't have to. Illegal, but I find morally acceptable. Okay,
that's kind of hard.
Stealing to eat. Okay?
Nice.
Like, so it's something that also is, like, I learned from, like, fucking Aladdin. Like, Aladdin, where I was like, this man should be able to eat. Give this man some bread. Like, you know, it's just, like, something, like, I just feel like no one should starve. There should be no one with with what we have and the technology, and like everyone's like, oh, GMOs, we can grow crops in like areas where they can't eat, and it's like, yeah, we have all that stuff, but we're doing nothing with it.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, you can't make that argument if we're not gonna fucking do anything with it. I feel like no one in 20 years ago, no one should be starving. You know, we've reached a point where we should be more of a civilized society that like, I don't know. Okay, so like like I said, I'm a chef, so like let's just use some like chef terminology, right? We have a lunch rush coming.
Yes.
And I'm on the line, but I'm not working, say like, you know, a certain station. And that station, say like the salad station, they're just getting drowned with orders. They have like 20 things, and I'm cooking like 2 steaks. You know, like my mindset would be like, they need some fucking help.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking help them out. Mm-hmm. Like, we're all on this line, the earth, fucking together. Like, why aren't we helping the people that, do you know?
Yeah.
So, does that answer?
Absolutely.
All right.
That's an excellent answer. Nice.
What about you? How do you feel about that? I forget exactly what the question was now.
What's stealing for
something illegal that you find morally acceptable.
But I gotta say that I really, really like your answer.
Okay.
Because I don't like admit this, you know, like to a lot of people, but I think it's fine to admit that I got from there to there. Last year, I was like having a hard time, and I had to access the food bank.
Oh yeah,
and it was tough, man. Like that was a tough place to be in, but I am so glad that it was there. Mm-hmm. I would have starved without it. I needed it, right? So, yeah, like and actually times too, like there were times when they didn't actually even have enough to like give out. So.
It's sad when that happens, right?
Yeah. So I totally.
No, I've been to food banks.
Totally agree with you on that.
Nothing to be, you know.
Yeah.
Shane, I feel like more people have used them than I feel like is.
Yeah. I was shortly after it happened, when I was like things were getting back on track. I said to my friends who I was going out with one night, I was like, oh, guys, I'm so embarrassed, but last spring I had to use the food bank, and they're like, at least you did. They're like, at least you went there to feed your child. Some parents won't even go because they're too proud, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So, but yeah, that, and I think also, I don't know if mushrooms are still illegal, but I think probably they should be. I think the mushrooms are perfectly acceptable to do. I don't think they should be illegal anymore.
I know there's some shops in Toronto.
Oh, okay. So
where
there
you
you
can buy
go.
them. I don't know exactly
So it's not illegal
the
anymore.
legality, but I feel like we're on track.
Yeah.
You know?
However, I've heard that they are decriminalizing cocaine in Vancouver, and I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, I understand that they're all coked up out there, but like, seriously, I don't think it's a good idea.
Oh, they're decriminalizing cocaine. That sounds crazy. Where? Vancouver. Oh.
Yeah.
That's wild, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Are most people trustworthy and reliable? Are you like quick to trust people?
Oh. I've been burned so bad with trusting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, part of the reason I ended up at the food bank was just from trusting the wrong person and getting into a really shady relationship. So I'm actually at a point now where I feel like I have to have some like serious boundaries with trust, and that I can really only trust myself, like fully, like 100%. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, I guess I have like some walls now about that. I trusted so many people, like in such crazy ways, like just being very vulnerable and like loving, and you know, thinking that people had good intentions.
Yeah,
when
some
they
people aren't worth
didn't.
it, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks. I feel like I'm the same. It's like I used to be a lot more, but then it's like you can only get burned so many times where you're just like I lived on my own when I was 16. I moved out. I had like a lot of people that like I don't know. I housed like a lot of people. I met people like the second day I met them, or first day I met them, they were like living with me at certain times. Like I was just that guy, you know. And over time, it was just kind of like I learned to keep certain people away. When I was just, it's funny because like you still do that, and every once in a while you just like get a message from someone, and it's just like, hey dude, can you like lend me money? It's like, yo dude, I haven't talked to you for like 5 years. Like, we haven't seen each other for like 7 years. Like, what are you messaging me? Like, it's just, I don't know, man. Brampton is a hole. I'll tell you, I lived in Brampton for a long time, and
I haven't been to Brampton much.
Yeah, you don't need to go to Brampton. It's okay. But yeah, I don't think that, I feel like I treat everyone the same until they bite me. I'm just more, like, I feel like I know the signs now. Like, when you've been through shit, a lot of the time you can pick up the signs a little earlier maybe than you did before, and it's so, like, I just know what to look out for, so...
That's good.
I definitely... I don't know.
That's
especially
good.
now. Like I said, I had this shitty family.
Yeah.
And, just a couple months ago, my girlfriend was still pregnant at the time. And, like, my aunt knew that. And I feel like people think, on the outside, people think that, like, I'm, like, balling. Or, like, just to have, like, money. Oh, I'm a comedian. And, like, someone called me famous the other day. And I was like, yo, I'm not fucking famous. Like, I'm not anything, like, I know what you're saying. Like, and, like, one of my aunts who's just, like, all, like, chronic, like, user. And just always has something. She's, like, every year she has, like, a different, like, person or group or something that she's like suing, trying to get money. She's just like that kind of person, and she's always just been that person. She's like, hey, how would you like me to, could I come live with you? Like, she's like asking me, but she's like, first she gives me like this sob story about like, I broke this and this happened with my you know, and then it's like, I know what's coming. And then she's like, could I come live with you? And like 10 years ago me would have been like, sure. And, like, me now is just like, I'm sorry, like, I can't do it. Like, my girlfriend's pregnant. Like, we have a second room, but, like, it's not for you.
Yeah, I actually I have friends that I trust more than family members.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it sounds, like, so cheesy and overused, but I do really have, like, a chosen family.
Yeah.
I have to.
My friends definitely, I would feel like, are more important than my family, my close ones, like, for sure. I don't even really have any family that I'm close to be honest, you know?
Yeah, I have one, like, second cousin who lives in Prince Edward County, and that's it, who I keep in touch with, yeah. Everyone else is out west and ignoring me. They don't like that I'm a single mom.
Oh, yeah, eh?
They're like, well, we didn't, like, raise you to be that way. And it's like, okay, what is this, the fucking Howells? Okay,
Yeah.
Thurston Howell.
Fucking Downton Abbey over here. Relax, bud. All right, well, I guess we'll get out of here. You can let everyone know where to get at you if you'd like.
All right, well, I'm Lara Bazant, and you can find me on YouTube and Instagram, and check me out at shows, because I'm doing musical comedy all over the city.
Is it just Lara Bazant?
Yeah.
YouTube?
First name, last name, Lara Bazant, all lowercase.
Word.
And all over. Like, for some reason, I'm lucky that my name can just be used the same on all the platforms.
Yeah, I like that too. It's simple. Paul Goneau, there's not,
Not a lot of Paul Goneaus.
No, not
Nice.
Really. Well, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. Thank you for the song and the stickers and the card that I will read later. Like always, this podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 10%. And by the Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 30%. Go follow Lara. Get your tickets to Lafiteria. Get your tickets to the monthly show. And I'll see you in 2 weeks, guys. Peace the fuck out.